All right, welcome to part 2 of my discussion on DigiHost, stock ticker HSSHF. They are a Bitcoin miner. If you didn't see part 1, take a look up here. There should be a link. You might want to watch part 1 first before you dive into part 2. Today, I've got the April 15th Bitcoin miner watch list. If you look at the top of this list, you'll see up 24%. If you look at the bottom of this list, you'll see down 41%. If you like this video and you want to see more content, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. With that said, let's go to the video. So I've put together a schedule here of potential 2022 Bitcoin mining revenue based on a couple of, and this is going to help us put a valuation on the company. So the current capacity for mining Bitcoin for DigiHost is 240 PH, which is 0.24 exahash. That is going to be giving them about 45 Bitcoins a month. If management is able to execute and double the capacity up to 480 PH, which is 0.48 exahertz, that will give them 90 Bitcoin a month. And the last scenario I've put together here is the company's goal. If you remember, they talked about they've already got the electric capacity for 3 exahertz, which is 3,000 PH. If they were able to get the machines to mine that level, they would have 563 Bitcoins per month. I will tell you right now, these machines are extremely difficult to find. We just saw DigiHost get 700 machines. You know, they raised a bunch of cash. They did that $25 million offering, and that is to get their hands on machines, because what is happening is the two big companies in this space, earlier in the year, they ordered 73,000 machines. My point is, it is very hard to get your hands on one of these machines. I personally know somebody who's desperately been trying to buy some, and if you're not buying 500 or 1,000 or 10,000 at a time, nobody even wants to talk to you. So it's not DigiHost's objective to catch up to them, but as you can see, they've got the power to build out 3 exahertz, which will make them one of the big players in this game. But let's run through the numbers. You'll see these columns here: $60,000, $100,000, $150,000, $200,000. I picked those 4 scenarios for potential price of Bitcoin in the year 2022. So we know right now Bitcoin is at about $63,000. So I don't have a crystal ball. I watched an interview with Cathie Wood today. She was talking about Bitcoin going to 500,000.
Institutions are going to have a significant impact on Bitcoin's price. If our analysis on how institutions will look at allocating to this space is correct, institutional involvement could increase the price of Bitcoin. Again, it's 30,000 now, by 200,000 if they want to minimize volatility, to 500,000 if they want to maximize their Sharpe ratios.
If that happens, but I don't think it's the proper way to try and determine a valuation for this company right now. So what I've tried to do is take the most reasonable approach here. So I've run these scenarios. It's my personal opinion, somewhere in that $100,000 to $150,000 price range is realistic for an average price of Bitcoin in the year 2022, which is next year. So, and then I did a $200,000 scenario just so that you can see how ridiculous this gets. Never mind, you know, Cathie Woods is talking about 500,000. I've heard other people talking about $1 million. Let's ignore all those for now, and let's just take a quick look at what these numbers do. Remember, they own their own power. That is a fixed number that's not going to go up on them. Their gross profit margins are going to remain pretty consistent. So all in, they said that their costs were about $15,000 a Bitcoin. On $60,000, you're looking at a 75% bottom line number. These companies don't have a history of profitability because, as we looked at in the beginning of this, Bitcoin at $10,000 didn't generate any profit at all. The ratio I'm using is price versus sales because it's kind of, in this industry at the moment, it's the only thing to compare. So here's the trailing 12 months price sales ratio. So the lowest company on here is Bitfarms at 12x sales. So their market cap was 12 times their annual sales. You can see 20, 29, 40, an average of 25 times 12 months sales. So in this analysis, I've tried to be as conservative as I can be in every way so that we come up with a reasonable number. So I did not take 25. So 25 is here. I did not do that. I went with the lowest one in the group, which was Bitfarm, and that was trading at 12x revenue. So if I take 12x revenue, which is the lowest anybody was trading at, and I take the lowest revenue number on this whole chart, which would be this $32,400,000. So that means they have not been able to add any more machines, and their computing power remains the same at 240 PH. Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin does not go up at all. In that scenario, the market cap of this company goes from $85 million to $388 million next year. Right now we're trading at $1.45 and the market cap is $85 million. In my absolute lowest case scenario that I've put together here, we're at $388 million market cap, which equates to $6.58 a share. So that's a 4.5x over the current sales price that they're selling for today. So again, I'm not a financial analyst. This is not financial advice. This is a mathematical exercise. So take away from this what you will and do your own due diligence. Double check my numbers. I've seen 10 other people's analysis and they're all different. I think this is pretty close. I've done my absolute best to get these numbers as accurate as I can, but please do your own due diligence if you're ever going to make an investing decision on this. So I just went through my absolute low case scenario and came up with a $6.58 share price. I'm going to go through these two scenarios. I'm in the scenario where the company is able to reach their goal, get enough machines to be at full capacity of 3 exahertz, and Bitcoin runs up to $200,000. You're talking about a $16,800,000,000 market cap, and you're trading at $284 a share. I am personally dismissing that scenario. That doesn't mean it can't happen. I would not ever make a decision based on some kind of best case scenario. So let's wash that one out and forget about it. But these two I think are worth looking at, because you're looking at Bitcoin going to 100,000 or Bitcoin going to 150,000. I think most of the talking heads on TV are looking in this range. Most analysts are looking in this range, so that doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it means they are realistic scenarios. So if we take these two scenarios, and I'm going to go to just doubling their hash rate. So if they're able to get enough machines over the course of the next 12 months to go from 240 pH to 480 pH, we're still at less than 1/6 their capacity. What that equates to is that would be a $1,344,000,000 market cap. At 150,000 of Bitcoin, that would be over $2 billion market cap. If we take that down here and divide it out by the amount of shares, and now I'm looking at a sales price target of $22.74 at $100,000 and $34.12 at $150,000. So that is a 15x from what they're trading at right now. You know, if you believe the premises of this analysis, this is showing anywhere from a 4.5x to a 15x increase in their sales price in the next, let's even just say 1 to 2 year time frame. I've done my best to make this realistic, so this is how I'm looking at DigiHost and their valuation. Okay, so for me, this would definitely be a buy and hold, because you'll see we're back at the chart here. You'll see we just got through having a 70% decrease in the value of their share price. We're down at $1.45. We were just talking about prices of $6 or $20. If you look at this chart and just say, hey, all they're going to do is get back to where they were. Well, that was $4.75. So that's a triple. That's my 2 cents. Once again, I would like to say I'm not a financial analyst. This is not financial advice. Please go verify all of this yourself. I will be doing a series of videos on one by one on all of the rest of the Bitcoin miners, because each one has its own unique story. You can see this one, in my opinion, has massive upside. So please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's very important to us. It helps us. It's free to you. Thanks for watching.